let's make sure that we're connected. All right, we're going to go about 75 minutes, and it's going to be full. All right, a full 75 minutes, because I know a lot of you are trading your stock, your options, your futures accounts. Some of you might have branched into some commodities, what have you, but Forex is usually something that's new, all right, to some of you. And the fact of the matter is, I want to cover a couple of basics to get you up to speed on it, because if you're not trading the Forex, I think you're missing the boat. I'm not saying you got to trade the Forex exclusively. All right, but when you see the advantages in the Forex market, when you see how easy it is mechanically, I got to believe that not just diversification, but when you see opportunity, you got to add this to your trading arsenal. And I'm pretty excited about it because I understand the benefits, the advantages. Thank you all for checking in. Those of you that have, good. William, Renee, thank you for that. Awesome. Who else? Winnipeg's here too. Greg, John's here. All right, good, good. All right, so you guys can hear me, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to get us started, because I want to know how you're doing. Who made money this morning? All right, we had a jobs number come out today that was just awesome. All right, and especially if you had the opportunity to trade it, take advantage of it. Now, that number came out at 8:30 Eastern time, so I know my stock traders didn't make any money on that until when? Until their market opened. And I don't know how well versed you are in markets, but an hour, gang, anymore is an eternity. And if you've got to wait till 9:30 when the stock market opens to react to something that happened at 8:30, good or bad, it's too late. All right, the fact of the matter is, you got to find the market that's open that you can take advantage of. Okay, you got a futures account, good. Maybe you had an opportunity to make a little to the short side this morning. Okay, but when we're talking about serious opportunity, non-farm payroll day is like Christmas for a Forex trader. And the cool part is it comes once a month, right? Christmas for a kid, they got to wait all year for it. But the first Friday of the month at 8:30 in the morning, when non-farm payrolls come out, damn, you got to be ready to make some money. That's an opportunity to either make up for some lousy results last month or set yourself on a course to make some good money this month. There's nothing like starting the month with a lead. Would you agree with that? Now you're playing with a little house money. Things get a lot more fun when you can do that. All right, so it sounds like you all can hear me. Let's get down to the business of showing you this Forex market. And if it's okay, I'm going to act as if most of you are new to this one. You're not new to trading, so I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You're not new to some of the concepts. A lot of you, I recognize your names. I see the attendees sheet. You've been to these before, okay? And you've seen different things, right? Yep, you're going to show us something. You're going to ask us for money at the end. Well, you're right, I am. All right, but the fact of the matter is, I got to show you something that's got some value to you so that you understand that you can get an ROI from it. I speak your language. All right, I've been doing this 25 years. So the fact of the matter is, let's get down to talking together. And the best thing you can find, the best thing anybody can find in trading is not a fancy system. I got a couple of them. I'm going to show them to you. All right, it's not necessarily education. The key to your success is finding people that know what they're doing so that you can shorten that education cycle and get into the money cycle. All right, my mentors are invaluable to me. I didn't just graduate from college and suddenly know how to do stuff, right? I was a kid that went to public school, all right? But I found good mentors. Laura Peterson taught me how to trade stocks on the Amex. You understand that? Michael Ryan, right? Another great lumber trader, taught me how to trade commodities, okay? I was able to leverage their experience. They let me mirror and match what it is that they did. And all of a sudden, instead of hunting for results, like I was trying to be some kind of a hero, right? I got to count the results. And that, I think, is what you want to do today. I hope I'm speaking your language. If I am, can you do me a favor and type yes in the chat box, or go for let's get going? Are we good? Are we singing off the same sheet of music? Because I got a little over an hour and I got a lot to tell you. All right. And I want you to see it, because if I'm the one that's able to introduce you to a market that can geek your results, then far out. This will be worth every minute of both of our time, and we'll have some fun with it. All right, good. Let's go. Let's get started. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, listen, we're going to talk market. So you got to understand that anytime you're talking about a market, you got to know what you're doing. Anytime you're talking about a market, you shouldn't trade money you can't afford to lose. You always trade with equity management in mind. And you got to remember one thing about me. I'm not a CTA, which stands for Commodity Trading Advisor. What that means is I can't trade your account for you, Okay, you're always going to be in control of the exercise. You're going to be doing the buys and the sells. But I'll tell you what I can do, can show you how to do it. I can let you look over my shoulder, right? I can let you look over the people who taught me this market, look over their shoulder, all right? Getting results is going to be the key. And what I'm going to tell you is this: if you can get yourself to the point where you're consistent and confident, you don't have to go to webinars anymore. You get out there and trade. All right. And I'm going to show you a system today called target trading. All right. That'll get you, even if you're brand new at this, it'll get you to consistency very quickly. Now, that's a big, bold statement. All right. Everybody always makes their claims and statements. Well, I believe that if I'm going to make any statements, I got to back it up with another statement. What's that? An account statement. Right? That is where the rubber meets the road. So let me back up that statement, all right, of performance with actual performance. And this is what I want to show you just very quickly. All right, stick with me on this. I want to show you this account right here. This is one of my trading accounts. All right, and I actually opened this up as a small account so that all the traders that work with me can see that even if you start with a small amount of money, all right, in the Forex market, you can make yourself a lot of money in a hurry. All right, and what I want to show you is this. I started this account, like I said, with my last group of traders. We did this as sort of a proving ground kind of account, right? I wouldn't expect you ever to cash your IRA in and dump all your money into something that you were brand new at. The smart thing to do is always to start with a small amount of money so you can prove that things work. Okay, well, we said, all right, let's go. Let's open some accounts, right? And I worked with this group. I started with a couple of grand. Now, as things happened in the market, right, different currencies, different economies, we had the yen in play, the New Zealand, the US dollar in play, all right? As things happened in the market, I want you to see that in a very patterned and consistent way, all right, I added to the results in this account. Now, I'm going to say right up front, this is not a perfect system. There's no such thing. All right, as a trader, you're going to do what? You're going to book your wins, you're going to book your losses, okay? That's just what trading is about, and you know that, okay? But take a look where this account stood 2 weeks after we opened it, right? Went from 2 grand to 4 grand. Now, that's not all the money in the world, but gang, I don't care who you are. You double an account in a couple of weeks, all right? And you've got to say to yourself, yep, that's something I got to look at, right? Show me that. Well, before I do, all right, I want to show you where this account stood after 90 days. All right, 2 weeks of performance, that's fine, but you want to know that it's consistent. Well, take a look. Again, trade after trade, couple of trades a day. This is not staring at the screen. This is not being tied to the market. All right, this is basically going off a calendar that tells me when the market's going to move, right? Positioning myself ahead of time, protecting my downside, adding consistently. Now look, all right, the account goes from 2 grand to 12 grand, and we pulled that off in 90 days. What I've got to tell you is this: that is not an uncommon result. Around here, all right, 500%, right? That looks pretty good. Of course it does, okay? And around here, this is what we teach people how to do. All right, this is something that I'm going to teach you how to do today. It was not magic. All right, we followed a formula. All right, success is not some fantasy. I get so tired of that. When we hear people that have something in the market, right, it all becomes a big marketing message, right? Come to the webinar and learn the big secret about trading. I don't play like that. It's a waste of my time. I like to show people the formula because it's that set of steps that's going to get you where you want to go. All right, I'm going to show you a formula today. You got to listen extra carefully as I'm going through the formula, all right, because that's going to be your biggest takeaway from our time together. You didn't come here to waste your time. You want to write a few things down that you can take with you today, all right? Well, I'm going to show you that. I'll show you using an awesome piece of software. I'll show you the people, the method that they use to teach me how to do this, to teach more than 30,000 people around the world how to do this. And here's what I'm going to say, all right, no matter what's going on in the world, all right, up markets, down markets, you got Trump over here, you got Europe over there, whatever. We've seen it, all right? 23 years we've been doing this. Why? Because our formula works, okay? So if you came here today to kind of figure out how to add this to whatever you're doing, all right? I'm not saying you put everything on the shelf, but I want you to add this to whatever you're doing, all right? You want to make an extra 2, 3, 4,000 a month doing this? I can show you how to do it. I'm going to do it right now, all right? We get feedback on this every day, all right, from our Facebook, right? Everything we do is very public because why? Because we know it works. We want to spread the message. Okay, and on our Facebook page, results, they come all the time. And yeah, you get excited about results, but they're not just talking numbers. Okay, they understand that the analysis, all right, the mentorship, that is the key to taking you to the next level. All right, anybody can show you a sheet of results, but to know how to get them, to have it make sense, all right, to be able to hit some targets. And we're going to talk about target trading today. Wait till you see that, because that's really where our positive feedback has really gone up to the next level. It's really a phenomenal program. So instead of just telling you about it, let me show it to you. All right, and your timing. Did you see what happened this morning? Your timing couldn't be any better. All right, if you want to trade the Forex, I've got to tell you right now, with what is happening in the euro and the US dollar, okay, you could have come here last week, the week before, timing wouldn't have been as good. All right, but with what we just got today, right, that news that we got today on the jobs report, I'm telling you right now, with the euro and the dollar, this thing is going to take off. We got the best trading environment that we've seen probably in the last 8 years. And here's what's going to happen. I want you to write this down. Okay, so you can take the next step. Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, the guy that taught me, Josh Martinez. Okay, and if you're not connected to him already, I put his Facebook page right there on the screen. Jot that down. That's a good resource. That's a good asset. Okay, you want to be connected with people whose formula and stuff works, not one time on a webinar, but on a daily, weekly basis. Okay, connect to him, because the fact of the matter is what he delivers is phenomenal. And on Monday at 7 o'clock, he's going to get on a webinar just like this one. All right, 45 minutes. If you can spare it, I want you to be there, because what he's going to do is he's going to get on a webinar and he's going to deliver all of his analysis to all of our worldwide students. Okay, on the euro and the US dollar, the projection is between 7,000 and 13,000 pips. Now, let me tell you what that means. All right, I know some of you are new. All right, that means if you're a trader trading his recommendation, all right, and you're trading just for $1 a pip, that means that Monday session is going to be worth between $7,000 and $13,000. I got to believe that that's at least a conversation worth having. All right, he'll hand you all of his analysis that day. Now, you might not be ready for that, okay, but you will be. Give me an hour. Give me an hour. I'm going to turn you into a Forex trader, because I'll tell you what, gang, the opportunity here, when you see how it all works and it makes sense to you and you give yourself a shot at it, this is the thing that can take your trading to the next level. Look, I've been trading markets 25 years. Renee told you that. All right. I've been licensed in all the markets. Okay. Stock, options, commodities, futures, Forex. So I know what you're dealing with. Okay. And I know the difference between the markets. You've got to find the market that gives you the best shot to make the money. Well, this market, when you see the advantages, you're going to understand it. All right, you're going to understand how this market gives you the best shot to make the money. All right, I've been a principal at a couple of firms. Great. I've traded the big accounts and I've managed trading desks. The reason that's important to you is this, because I've done this. All right, my job as a trading desk manager, 10 traders, 15 traders, 25 traders at a time, was to make sure that they had the tools and the skills and the knowledge so that when their profit statement came out, right, at the end of the day, week, or month, it had some green stuff on it, right? They were making money. That was my job, to make sure that they were making it. And I'm going to do that for you today. All right. When you log into Investor Inspiration and I come on, you know what I'm thinking? That you just sat down on my trading desk and you fold your arms in front of you and you say, show it to me, Joe. Right. I'm here. Well, that is more than half the battle. If you're here, okay, and you are ready to take a few notes and you give me a little over an hour, right, I'll put you in a position to make serious money, because that's what I do. That's what we do. All right, we're not here to dabble. We're not here to analyze, overanalyze, right? We're not here to impress our friends at a cocktail party with a big vocabulary about trading. You know how many people I know that can talk about trading all day long, but they don't know how to make any money at it? Lots of them. All right, you're saying, show me how to do it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I hope you don't mind. All right, I'll show you the difference, all right, between the stock market and the Forex market. Significant differences, all right, and you're going to see them, and you're going to understand why this market is going to help you. All right, I'm going to teach you that formula. Write that down. That's a big one. All right, that's when you got to really be honed in. Okay, we'll go live. Market's open. Let's go do it. Right, I don't do theory. Theory is for books. Okay, people can get on webinars and teach you theory all day. I'm going to keep it simple and show you how. Show, don't tell. Show. That's the key. When to get in, when to get out. target trading, how to use it. That is going to really be what kind of makes your eyes big, because that is an awesome program. You want to go make some money today? That'll be up to you. Okay. But I'm going to give you access to our system so you can put the whole thing to the test. And the best part is anything I show you today, you're going to be able to take advantage of it risk-free to you financially. So let's talk. Now that we're all here, what is the big difference between the stock market and the Forex market? Like I said, you got to pick the market that gives you advantages. All right. The differences are significant. Let's talk about them for a minute. Execution is always important. All right. When you buy and sell, you've got to make sure that you're getting the best price. And in the stock market, whether you know it or not, okay, when you send a market order or when your limit order becomes a market order in the stock market, they can hold your trade for up to 17 seconds, right? And the whole time they are trading against you. Do you know that? Well, that's a fact, okay? And that costs you money every time, right? On both sides of your trade. Well, in the Forex market, listen, executions are immediate. Okay, this is the most liquid market there is. I don't want to hear excuses about liquidity. Oh, you didn't get a good price because there was no liquidity. Oh, fast market, so you got printed $0.50 off of where your market order was. That's all nonsense, right? In this market, because it's liquid, there's always a buyer, there's always a seller, and it trades through every price, which means that lowers your risk, which means it lowers your cost. All right. And instead of money in your broker's pocket or on the trader on the desk's pocket, that money stays in your pocket. And that is one of the key differences when it comes to trading. Leverage is another one. All right. Let's talk about leverage for a second. I know some of you are out there trading stocks. The difference is you don't get a lot of leverage. You want to go buy Apple at $150 a share? 200 shares will cost you 30 grand. Well, I have a margin account. Great. You get 2-to-1 leverage. So that 200 shares is going to cost you 15 grand. Okay. And it's a 200 share position. It's not that significant. You understand? You want to do things that have meaning. Well, if you want to get a 200 share position in Apple, you still got to lay out $15,000. All right. It's a capital intense market. Forex isn't. You get 50-to-1 leverage over here. All right. With 50-to-1 leverage, that means a little bit of your money goes a long way. A little bit of your money goes a long way. You got $2,000. I'll show you how to control a $100,000 position. And leverage, listen, leverage is always the key to your best investments. You know it. You bought your house. You didn't pay for the whole thing. You put a couple of percent down. You control the house. Okay. House goes up in value. You make 50,000. Okay. The key was controlling the asset. And that's what we do over here. You control assets in the spot market. Oh, leverage works both ways. You're darn right it does. That's why you got to trade it correctly. All right. I'll show you how to do that today, but you got to find the best use of your capital instead of tying up all your money. All right. I'll show you how to do it. Now, listen, this one's a big deal. The market, the stock market is limited in its trading hours. Why? Because we're still keeping the same hours that we kept back in the 30s. All right. Markets have moved faster since then. Now, if you want to trade the stock market and you're available from 9:30 to 4, good for you. All right. You can do it the same old way. But here's the thing. All right. When the good stuff happens, when the big stuff happens, the stock market's closed. Think about it. The report that came out this morning at 8:30, if you're a stock trader, you had to wait for 9:30 in order to trade it. That's crazy. Or my favorite, Amazon will announce earnings after the bell. After the bell. When all the liquidity dries up, right, Amazon's going to announce their earnings like they did last Tuesday. What did you hear? They missed their number. They missed it big, right? Stock dropped 40 points. What could you do if you owned Amazon? After the bell, nothing. You had to wait for the following morning, and by then it's too late. That's lunacy. That's high risk. Those gaps of time, those gaps of price, they don't work for you, gang. They work against you. Okay, in the Forex, you're not dealing with that because you got a 24-hour market. Not only is it convenient, but because there's no gaps of time, gaps of price, all right, you put a limit order in and it's going to trade right through it. Listen, you're taking less risk. Less risk. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again because that's the name of the game. We control risk. We look for opportunity. This is how we put a market together. And I know I'm making sense to you, all right, and I know what you're paying. All right, if I compared what you're paying to what I'm paying, I'm going to tell you what, my costs are real small. All right, my costs are small, my spreads are small. Some of you are still paying big spreads. You're paying ticket commissions and all this sort of thing, and it adds up pretty darn quick. Okay, the fact of the matter is people are flocking to this market because it's simple. All right, it's huge, and the fact of the matter is it's growing for a reason. Retail traders are figuring this out. So if you haven't quite figured it out yet, whatever, you're here. Let's figure it out together, and I can show it to you quick, because it's not going to take you a long time to put this together. If you have time to write down 8 currencies, okay, that's the list that we're going to trade. I don't have to talk about thousands of stocks, all right? I don't have to get you to the point where you're an economist. I'm going to show you how you trade 8 currencies, the ones you've heard of, so right away you start out comfortable, all right? The US dollar, well, we're going to trade it. The euro, yep, that too. The pound, the yen, the Canadian, the Swiss, the Aussie, the Kiwi, this is our list. Okay, and anytime we trade currencies, watch how easy this is. It's fundamentally real simple because it's based on something you already know. All right, it's based on exchange rates, right? Currencies trade one against the other, right? Anytime you see a currency pair, right, it's followed by an exchange rate. Now, you know what that is because you've been traveling. You know what that is because you've been to the airport, right, or a hotel, or that booth, right, that says currency exchange. As soon as you see an exchange rate, you know what it means. It means you can change one currency for the other, right, at whatever the going rate is. Well, all we're doing as currency traders is we're trading exchange rates for profit. And whether they move up or they move down, right, we can make money on this in either direction. That's what we do, okay? Now, how do you do it? All right, most people want to talk about exchange rates in dollars and cents, okay? But currencies don't move like stocks. They don't move dollars and cents at a time, okay? They move what's called pips at a time. Write that down, okay? PIP stands for price interest point. It's tiny little movements, okay, in the Forex that we look to capture, all right? Because the pips are where the profit is. We're looking to capture those pips, little moves, all right? But we're looking to capture as many of those pips as possible. Now, let me show you how it all works. I think this will be easy for you to understand. All right, let's just say we have a currency. This is just an example. All right, but I'm going to show it to you fundamentally. We'll call it like a dry run. You're learning how to play, you know, a new game of cards or something, bridge or one of these. You do an open hand. Well, let's just do an open hand trade here so I can walk you through it. All right, let's say we got the euro and the US dollar. Let's say it's trading at a certain exchange rate, 111.05, right? Now, during the day, I might have a strong euro or I might have a weak dollar, all right? If that happens, that's going to move my seesaw. That's going to move my exchange rate up. Now, if it does, I go from 111.05 to 111.95. That's a difference of 90 pips. Do you see that? 90 pips, okay? We're always going to look at the 3rd and the 4th decimal place as Forex traders. You want to capture the pips? Well, you buy low and sell high. Now, listen, okay? I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. Buy low and sell high. You already know that, right? Trend is your friend. You already know that, all right? Fundamentally, there's nothing different about this than you already know. Buy low, sell high, follow a formula, protect your downside. Buy low, sell high, follow a formula, protect your downside. Fundamentally, this is going to be the same thing, okay? So now you've got to make a conscious decision, and it's up to you because you're in control. You've got to decide how big you want to trade it, okay? That's it, because that's the name of the game. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and make a commitment to the market. What's the opportunity? Okay, it's going to be based on, right, the size that you trade. You're going to trade based on how confident you are, right? That there's an opportunity, that your formula works, and so forth. Okay, here's what you can trade. Watch this. You can trade micro lots, mini lots, or standard lots. Please write them down. Okay, let's make sure we're all singing off the same sheet of music. Micro lots, mini lots, standard lots. Okay, now what's the investment? Let's talk about that. If you trade micro lots, it's a $20 trade, $20 investment. All right, every one of you, you got 20 bucks, which means you can trade this market. First question everybody has. How much can I do with $20? Stock market, you can do nothing, okay? You can buy 1/50th a share of Amazon. You wait long enough, right? Maybe your great-great-great-grandkids can retire off of that, okay? 20 bucks does nothing in the stock market. You can't even get started in options or futures with $20, but here you can, okay? And what I'm gonna tell you is this, starting small is okay because you wanna give things a proving ground. Okay, you want to make sure stuff works. You want to make sure you know what you're doing, all right, before you go risking more of your money. But once you get that figured out, Okay, then you'll step up to trading what's called mini lots. Now listen, for this you only need $200, but you can make a little bit of noise with $200 in this market. I'll show you how. But the thing I think you're going to want to circle on your paper is the one down here at the bottom, standard lots of currency, because when you trade those, listen, that's when things start to have a lot of meaning. Okay, circle that one on your paper. That's going to be your goal, to kind of climb this ladder. Go from introduction to I'm a little more confident to this is where I need to be. Okay, no matter what though, look at those numbers. None of those is a big number. Okay, none of them, because you don't need a lot of money here. You got $20,000 in your savings account, leave it there. Okay, you got 200 grand in your IRA. I don't care about that. Let your mutual fund people worry about that. For this, you're going to put a little risk capital into it, but not much. Okay, none of those numbers is very big. You decide what you want to do. Now, you know the investment. Great. Joe, show me the return. What's it all mean? Well, that's where the pips come in. The pips are where the profit is. Okay, and anytime you're trading a mini lot, or excuse me, a micro lot. Anytime you trade a micro lot, okay, the pips are worth 10 cents a piece. So what does that mean? Well, go back to the example. We made 90 pips, right? 90 pips, 10 cents, that's a $9 profit. $20 trade, you made 45%, right? Nice percentage. $9, no big deal. But 45%, all right, if that's something that your formula can keep delivering time after time after time, what do we both know? Well, we're not going to trade that small for very long, right? If something can prove that it can make that kind of number, then you want to trade a little bit bigger. Okay, that's when you trade mini lots. Okay, $200 trade, but now the pips are worth $1. Why? Well, the trade itself is going to be exactly the same. Write this down. We always trade for pips. Okay, pips is the key. But in this case, because you started with a little bit more, right, $200, now you get to take out a little bit more. 90 pips times $1, you made $90. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, but the reason I told you to circle this last one on your paper is because when you trade standard lots of currency, each of the pips is going to be worth $10 profit. So you already did the math, right? 90 times 10, that's 900. That's right. Okay, $900 on a $2,000 investment. I don't care who you are. That's a good conversation. You can only talk like that in so many places. All right, but this is one of them, and this is really the reason so many people are coming to this market. Is it doesn't take a lot of money to make a lot of money, right? You make $900 a day, you're making $4,000 a week, right? That's serious money, right? And I can show you how to do it. Your two questions are what? Number one, how often does that 90 pip thing happen? Every day in every currency. I'll show it to you. Okay. The other question, what's the downside? Anybody can come on a webinar and start talking about $900 a day. True. Okay. What's the downside? I'll show you that too. All right. This has to make sense to you if you're even going to consider it. So let me walk you through it because now you're ready. Fundamentally, I think you got it. So instead of waiting around, all right, now that we're all up to speed, let's go live so I can show it to you. All right, let's go live. And what I want to do is I want to ask all of you if you can see my charts. All right, I just switched over here a little bit, and this is kind of where the rubber meets the road. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So if you can see my charts, go to your chat box. You got a chat box, right, where it says type a message. Just let me know that you can see my screen with the charts on it. Type yes or just something friendly. All right, if we're going to get to know each other, let's be friendly here a little bit. All right, just say yes if you can see it, and I'm going to know that you're following along. All right, I'm not going to waste your time, gang. I'm going to take you through this whole thing. All right, from beginning to end. You want a formula, you want something that works, I'll show it to you. Okay, and we're live, so we can do this in real time. Okay, yes. All right, everybody's with me. And yes, I'm talking quickly because I got so much that I want to share with you so that you can make a good decision on this thing. All right, you're all looking for the same thing. Joe, don't give me BS. Show me something that works. Right? Show me that I can do it. Well, I'm going to do that now. All right. And this is the star of the show because this is our software. All right. We developed this program. We got more than $1 million invested in it. All of our traders, people like you worldwide. All right. 32,000 people have already got this right on their desk. Okay. We've all got it here on our trading desks also, so that when we get together, like we're going to do on Monday, right at 7 o'clock, we're all singing off the same sheet of music. Okay, now what is it that makes my program better than anybody else's? That's a good question, right? Go to the webinars a lot, Joe. See all the red, the green, right? I've seen a lot of programs. Well, I'm going to tell you what makes this one better. Okay, I'm going to tell you what makes it work so well. Number one, it does the job. It answers the three questions, no matter what currency or what time frame you're looking at. It answers the three questions that you must answer. All right, if you're going to be a trader, you've got to know three things. You got to know first, before you risk a dime, you got to know which way the market's going. Okay, yeah, Joe, that would help, right? You've got to know which way the market's going. Well, the software will tell you that. Okay, what else will it do? Well, it'll tell you before you trade. Okay, it'll tell you where and why you're going to get in so you understand it, right? It'll also tell you where and why you're going to get out. Okay, that's what it does to help you. Now, why does it work so well? Here's the answer. It's because of the way the Forex works. Now listen carefully. I keep saying Forex is different than any other market. This is the thing that makes it so different, is that the Forex, unlike all the others, the Forex repeats itself. Let me write that out, and you write this in your notes. The Forex, this is the biggest advantage. It does the same thing over and over and over again, okay? It repeats itself over and over and over, and because it does, right, we can make money at this over and over and over again. Watch how easy this is, okay? What's happening here? The market, right, it's developing patterns, okay? Most of the time we read patterns on a chart using our candlesticks, okay? I think most of you know what candlesticks are about, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep things simple, okay? Because this really is. Okay, let's look at the candlesticks on this chart. All right, what are we looking at? The New Zealand versus the US dollar. Okay, I see white candlesticks, I see a market going up. Okay, keep it simple. I see blue candlesticks, I see a market going down. What do I notice? Market never goes straight up or straight down. Okay, it always moves in waves and patterns. All right, well, I want to look at a couple of patterns with you right now. All right, I'm going to call them ABCD. Write that down. Okay, ABCD patterns. Market moves in ABCD patterns over and over and over again. Let me show you what one looks like. This is an ABCD pattern. Market starts at a low price A, okay, moves to a high price B, then what? Pulls back to a low price C, and then what? Rallies nice and strong to a high price D. That's a complete pattern, okay? Once that pattern is complete, we start another one because the market repeats itself. Right here, where this one ended, new one begins. So that's our new letter A. Then what? Market pulls back down to a low price. That's our new letter B. Then what? Rallies to a high price. That's letter C, okay? And then what? The market completes the pattern, right, at a low price. That's letter D. So I got two patterns on the chart. Most people, especially novices, they think that these patterns are random, all right? But what I'm going to tell you is this. They're not. In the Forex market especially, they're not, all right? These patterns are not random. In fact, they're very natural. Okay, they're natural, and my favorite word, okay, is that they're predictable. Now, somebody says to you, right, that something is predictable, right? What do? You grin, right? That's what I did. Predictable? What are you talking about, right? I grinned when I heard that this was predictable because, listen, if somebody's got a tool, right, that can show you where the market's going next, that's something you've got to have, right? Well, when I was first seeing this from Josh and the people around here, they said it was predictable. I said, well, you better show me that. How do you predict it? They said, well, there's a tool built in here that can do that. It's called the Fibonacci tool. Now, I say that word and I got to ask you, okay, who's heard of Fibonacci? If you've heard of Fibonacci, please type a Y or a yes in the chat box. And if you haven't, just say not sure so I know where you stand on this. Most of you, I bet, have heard of the Fibonacci tool or the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, if that's familiar to you, do me a favor, just let me know where you stand. If it is, type yes or the letter Y in the chat box. If it's not, though, if this is something you've never seen, wait till you see it. It's amazing. It's awesome, as a matter of fact. And it's the basis for everything that's going on this chart. Have you seen it? All right, a lot of you have, right? James has, Robert has, a lot of David, Mike, you guys have seen this, right? Same thing. Good. You've seen this before. Okay. All right. Some of you, though, you haven't seen it. So I got to tell you, you got to know this. So I'm going to show it to you. All right, Fibonacci. All right, let me get you into a little depth here because it's important. Okay, what in the world is Fibonacci? Well, it's actually not a thing, it's a person. All right, Fibonacci was an Italian mathematician, not particularly attractive, I might add. However, right, he's very famous because he came up with a sequence of numbers called the Fibonacci sequence that can be used to measure everything in nature. All right, as a matter of fact, if you Google this a little later, you'll find that this sequence of numbers is called nature's numbering system. Okay, because why? Because what Fibonacci figured out was that everything follows a natural and predictable, my favorite word, pattern. Here, let me demo this for a minute. Let me show you what I mean. All right, everything follows a pattern. Here's something from nature, a fish. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on the fish for a minute. Okay, the fish is made up of scales. Okay, now if I said to you, just a little quiz, right? If I said to you, all right, how many scales are on the fish? What would you do to try and give me an answer? You try to count those scales one at a time, but you don't need to do that. Why not? Because that is not a random number. Okay, that is a natural pattern. Look at it. Let me zoom in on it. You see this? You see rows, you see columns. That is a natural pattern. All right. And if you put the Fibonacci sequence right on that fish, it will tell you exactly how many scales are on it. That's just how it works. Right down to the last scale, right down to the last scale. All right. And it works on everything. Look, here's a flower. Okay. Flower. How many petals are on it? Well, you don't have to pull them off one at a time to give me an answer. That's a natural pattern. All you got to do is put the Fibonacci sequence on it. It'll tell you how many petals are on the flower. And this works on everything. Look, it works on architecture. Yes, that's a flight of stairs, but look closer. It's also a Fibonacci sequence. All right. This works on everything. It works on you. Okay. Do you realize, I know you've seen this diagram before, right? This is the Fibonacci diagram of the human body. Okay. We use this to measure our symmetry. If you were to tell me right now how long your arms are, do you know what I can do? I can tell you without even looking at you how long your legs are exactly. You know why? Because that's a natural pattern, okay? And it's all measured and predicted by Fibonacci, okay? And it's fascinating stuff. And most of you are like, okay, you're right, that is fascinating. What's it got to do with this? Well, it's got everything to do with this. Here's why. The founder of the company, the chief, right? Josh, his son, they said, wait a minute. The Forex obviously follows patterns. Okay, what if they're natural and predictable? In other words, what if we put this Fibonacci thing into this market and it worked? We could make a ton of money with that, right? Well, that was a thought process. That's what they did. And it turns out when you put the Fibonacci's into this, guess what? It does work, okay? All you're gonna have to do to make this work, and I'm gonna go quickly, but I'll do it a bunch of times so you can get a few reps in, okay? All you're gonna have to do to make it work is pull up a chart, find low prices and high prices and give them a label. All right, how do you find low prices and high prices? You look for something called U-turns, okay? It's an important word, U-turns. You see a U-turn, the bottom of it is a low price, okay? You see an upside down U-turn, the bottom of it's a high price. So if you can, and it's a term you're gonna hear a lot, so I want you to be familiar with it. If you can find the U-turns, okay, you'll be able to find low prices and high prices. And all you have to do at that point is measure the pattern. Now watch how it works. I'll show you how to make money with this, okay? You're gonna come up here to this square, this menu. Right, it says Fibonacci tools. You're going to click on it. And what's going to happen is a menu comes down. The first thing that's there is the MTI, that's us, Fibonacci tool. I want you to click on that. It's a proprietary tool, but you'll be able to use it. Okay, you click on that, your cursor turns into a pen. Now watch this. You take your pen and you draw a line from A to B. All right, from A to B. And look what happens. What happens automatically, right, is this Fibonacci sequence appears right on your desk. Now there it is. Right, looks like a step ladder. Let me show you how to use it. We're almost there, all right? We're almost there. What's happening is when I put this Fibonacci sequence on this, it's measuring the first part of the pattern from A to B. But what happens when we get to B? When we get to letter B, right, the market stops going up and it pulls back down. It pulls back down here to a low price, and then it makes another U-turn. Well, we're going to give that low price a label. That is letter C. And what I want you to notice is where letter C is. This is going to be an important part of your job, okay? You've got to notice where the market pulled back down to letter C, right? And then it stopped going down. What it actually did was it bumped into one of these Fibonacci numbers. It bumped into this red one right here, all right? That is going to be significant. Why? Let me tell you. You got to write this down, okay? Some people call these Fibonacci numbers, they call them energy levels, okay? I call them a little different because it's easier to remember. I call them trampolines because of the way they act on the price of the currency. All right, let me show you what I mean. The market has pulled back down to this low price, okay? And as soon as it got to that low price, what happened? It bumped into this energy level, this red one right here, this trampoline, okay? Well, what happens to you? When you jump on a trampoline, you go bouncing off in the other direction, right? Look what happened here. Market hit the trampoline, boom, started bouncing off in the other direction, okay? That's because it's got very natural energy right now to the upside. All right, stick with me on this. All right, what are you trying to tell me? The market's going up? Well, yeah, you can see that with your own eyes. All right, you now know which way the market's going. It's bouncing off that red trampoline. Now listen, if that was the only thing you knew, that'd be a huge, major advantage to you as a trader. Yeah, if I knew which way the market was going, buy low, sell high. Okay, but this is going to go a step further. Okay, this is going to go a step further because it will not just tell you which way, it'll even tell you how far. How does it do that? I'll show you. Okay, how does it tell you how far you're going to go? Well, it's just a natural pattern. The key to knowing how far you're going to go is matching the color of your trampoline down here with the same color up here. That will tell you how far you're going to go. Right? In this example, we're bouncing off a red trampoline. So what I'm telling you is not only are we going up, but we're going to keep going up till we hit the same color line way up here. Red line, red line. Got it? Red goes to red. So that is where the market's going because that will complete this pattern, A, B, C, D. Okay? Now, when's it going to happen? Well, it's going to happen as time goes by. Okay? But look, that's exactly what happened. Market went from red, had energy to the upside, kept going till it got to red. A, B, C, D, that is a complete Fibonacci pattern. Okay, now look, the first time I saw that, I was on the edge of my seat. First time I saw it, I moved right to the edge of my seat and I looked at these guys and said, show that to me again. I'm glued to the screen at this point because anybody can show you something one time. Okay, and it looks pretty good. But they got to show me what? That it works, not just one time. They got to show me that it works all the time, over and over and over again, in order for me to be confident with it. Okay, so that's what I got to show you. And what did I tell you? The market moves in ABCD patterns over and over and over again. Well, take a look at what we got here. All right, what we got here is another ABCD pattern. This one is over. It's done. It's completed. That round of energy has reached its conclusion. But what happened here is we started another one, right? At the same place, high price A. Market faded down to low price B. Then what did it do, right? It went and rallied to high price C, made a U-turn, went down to low price D. Do you want to see if this is natural and predictable? Well, let's find out. Just do the same steps. Come up here, get the same tool, Fibonacci tool. Come up here, turn your cursor into a pen. Take your pen, draw your line from A to B, and let's see if this holds water. Okay, the more you see it, the more confident you're going to be that it works. I was the same way. Okay, let's see if it does. What happened? The market went from where? From A to B. Okay, then what? Stopped going down and reversed. Okay, reversed all the way up here to a high price C, but then it ran into something. It ran into one of these trampolines. Now, the key for you to know where the market is going is to find letter C. Okay, over here, look, we found letter C, and now what? Well, we saw that it lined up with the red trampoline. It's going to the red line. That's right. It's possible, though, that we see an example, right, where the market pulls back lower, right? In other words, where letter C is here before it makes the U-turn. Well, if that's the case, all right, the Fibonacci sequence will still hold, but you got to match the trampoline in order to know where it's going. Here, you're bouncing off the blue one. So that means what? Yes, the market will bounce up, but only to the blue line. That's how it works. Okay, it's the same thing if the market pulls back down to the green trampoline before it makes the U-turn. If that's the case, we're still going up, but only to the green line. So the best way to remember this, all right, I like to say red goes to red, blue goes to blue, green goes to green. All right, that's how the tool works. But you got to see that it works. You got to know where letter C is, and you got to see it work repeatedly. You saw it work once. Let's see if it works again. Market bumps into this red trampoline. Look how nice and linear that is. That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. All right, the reason it's linear is because it's taking advantage of the mathematical principles of the universe. I mean, this is deep stuff. All right, most of you aren't even interested in that. You just want to know if it's going to go to the red line. Well, let's take a look, because if this works, that's what should happen. If this works, we should go from red to red. And look what happens. We go right to it. Why? Because that's a natural and predictable pattern. Totally awesome. And this is bringing the chart to life, and it's doing it in a way that makes sense. And I've shown it to you now just very quickly. All right, I've shown it to you in an up market. I've shown it to you in a down market. Okay, I've shown you that it works consecutively. So now what? Well, it's all theory. Okay, it's useless. It's good for conversation until you do something with it. So what do? Let's put it to the test. All right, we got another pattern right over here. Okay, what are the mechanics? I could teach these to a 15-year-old. I have. I got a daughter who's 15, knows how to do this. I got another one who's 13, knows how to do this. I taught them how to be traders, gang, because when they move out of the house, I'm going to wave, I'm going to tell them I love you, and they're not going to have to move back in because they know how to trade. Okay, you don't know how good that makes a dad feel, right? Let me explain something to you. They know how to find a low price, letter A. They know how to find a U-turn, high price, letter B. They know how to find another U-turn, low price, letter C. And they can see that this is making a U-turn. Now watch, okay? All you have to do is follow the same steps. Let's get our Fibonacci tool and draw it out. All right, now what I want to do very quickly is highlight this. I want to magnify it so you can really see this, right, for all that its efficacy. All right, here we go. I've just drawn the line from A to B, okay? The market has pulled back down to letter C. We are now making a U-turn. Why? Because we're bouncing off of this Fibonacci number right here, right? The 618, right? Don't need to get too fancy. Just think of it as a red trampoline. You can see that the market's going up. You can see it with your own eyes, okay? We've got positive energy in the market. And if that's all you knew, trade in that direction. Trend is your friend, okay? But if this tool works, talk about an advantage. Watch this. If this tool works the way that I'm saying, right, we just identified a heck of a profit opportunity, right? Market's here, it's going there, right? We're looking at making some money. That's right. All right, now where are we right now? Let me highlight the candle, 71.81, okay? If I'm at 71.81 and I'm supposedly, right? You're testing this, right? But if it works, I'm supposedly going to 73.99, okay? That's a difference of 218 pips, okay? Trade it however you want, okay? You want to trade it as a micro lot, 10 cents a pip. That's a $20 trade, okay? If it works, you get your $20 back and you make $21.80. That's not a bad return, okay? What if you're a little more adventurous? You do a mini lot, okay? Yeah, I'd probably do that, Joe. I got a couple of hundred. Worst case, I lose a couple of $100. Correct. Best case, you see that this thing works and you can use it for the rest of your life. But if it works once, $1 a pip, you do more than double your money, okay? Then you take your original 200 off the table, right? Now you're playing with house money. That's a good way to go, okay? Why did I tell you about standard lots? Because $10 a pip, this is the conversation you want to be having as a trader, all right? Nobody wants to do this for nickels and dimes. It's too much stress for nickels and dimes. You agree with that, okay? Yeah, man, I'm watching news reports all day, this and that. I don't want to make nickels and dimes, all right? I want to make 2, 3, 4,000 a week, minimum, okay? Well, now we're going to have that conversation, okay? At the very least, paper trade it. See this for what it is. At the very least, I want you to open an account, right? A practice account. Go to forex.com, right? Go to oanda.com. Go to TD. They got Forex tools, right? You open up a practice account and you at least start to put this to the test because it's not going to happen by magic. It's going to happen through repetition, okay? But once you start seeing it work, then you can make some money with it, all right? How much in this case? Well, if it works, you're talking about 218 pips. All right, show me that it works. All right, I can do this all day. Because what happens, right? The market bounces off of that red trampoline and it continues to make higher lows and higher highs, okay? It does not go straight to that line. You didn't expect that it would. But look what happens. On the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th day, goes up, kisses the line. Why? Because that's letter D. That's how it works. A, B, C, D. 218 pips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, okay? Now you're at the end of the sequence. So what happens next? Well, do it again, because that's what's coming behind it. Another A, B, C, D, okay? Another A, B, C, D, okay? There it is, A, B, C, D. We make money from C to D. That's where we capture dollars. C, D, capture dollars, okay? And this works. This works, gang. Listen, it works on all the currencies, okay? Works on all the time frames. 3 of you have already asked me if it works on the 1 hour, the 2 hour. I'll show you that. We got to show you that. That's where the fun is, right? All the currencies, all the time frames. I mean, what you're seeing is the chart come alive. It's measurable, okay? You see that it's repeatable. That's A, B, C, D, okay? My favorite part is right here. Makes my life easy, right? I can trade what you're trading. I can probably trade it blindfolded. I know my pivots. I know my ABC. I know my charts. I know where the S&P is. I know where my entry and exit points would be. I could trade it blind, right? You can get all the stuff you want in those markets, all right? Those markets are based on feel. Technicals fall apart in those markets because of the gaps of price and time. But this is a fluid market. That's why this works here, okay? We're not shoehorning. This works, okay? So now what? Well, show me that it works some more. Give me a trade I can do, All right, you want to trade? I can give you a trade. I can give you a couple of them. Okay, watch. And then I'll show you target trading. I'll give you a handful, right? But if you want to put this on your desk and try it at any time, all right, you got to let me know that that's something you want to do, all right? And then we can work together on it, all right? But here, what do I got? Euro. Here, let's look at this one, the Euro Australian. You ready for this? All right, Euro Australian. How do I bring a chart to life? Okay, you're always going to be looking at a candlestick chart. That's just what we look at. It provides the most information. So if you're doing that up to this point, you're doing a lot of things correctly. All right, most of you know how to find trend lines. All right, most of you know here. Let me give you the 5 key words. All right, support, resistance, breakout, sequence, and repeat. Okay, those are the 5 key words to the formula. Told you I'd give you a formula today. Let me provide it. Okay. This is how we bring a chart to life. We draw trend lines, okay? Here's a good looking trend line, shows support. What does that mean? Well, that means when the market's trying to work its way down, when it hits this trend line, bounces back up, right? When the market's trying to work its way down, it comes down to this support line, right? It's like a floor, right? It holds the price up. So whenever you see a trend line that's holding up a price, like this one is, that's support, okay? Well, that's easy. I know, most of you already know that, okay? What's the other thing we look at? You hear these terms all the time. Let's make sure we know what we're talking about. All right. There's another line. Okay. That is just the opposite of support. Why? Because the market's trying to go up, but it hits this line and it sells off, comes up to the line, sells off, comes up to the line, sells off. I know for a lot of you that's basic, and that's okay. But what do we call that? Well, let's make sure we're calling everything the same way. That's called resistance. So we got support and resistance, but now the chart is coming to life. What's the most important thing on this chart? I'm going to circle it for you. Okay. Most important thing on the chart, we live for this as traders, is right there. Do you see that? Here, let me magnify that. You see this right here? What happened? We expected the same thing on this trend line to hold, right? Market hits the trend line, sells off, right? Hits it again, sells off. But what happened here? Instead of selling off, the market broke through the trend line. Okay, that is called a breakout. And we live for these. This is where money is made, period. This is what we look for, okay? Because when we see a breakout, and I'm going to highlight that for you, money's made here. What comes behind it is a strong move. What comes behind it, all right, is an opportunity to make serious money, period, okay? You might not see breakouts. You might look at 30 charts today. Well, I'm going to bet that you look at 30 charts today, especially on the euro, you're going to see some breakouts to the downside, okay? On this example, what do we see? A breakout to the upside. When you see them, you've got to be ready. You've got to be ready to act. You've got to be ready to use your sequence. What is that? That's your ABCD. Now you're going to put it to good use. Watch how it works. Different currency, different time frame. Look, I'm going fast. I have to. All right, I'll do questions at the end, but I think I've got most of them kind of worked in here to my responses. All right, this is the 2-hour chart, gang. We got a breakout right here. You want to see that ABCD thing work? Watch this. Okay, what do I got here? Hold on, I'm gonna just clean this up a little bit. Okay, I got a low price, A. Got a high price, B. Got a low price, C. Want to see where D is? Let's find it. Draw my line from A to B. Find letter C. Okay, got it. What's it doing? Bouncing off a Fibonacci number. It's not a mistake. Okay, bounces off this red trampoline. Where's it supposed to go? Match the color, red to red. Look where it goes. You're going to tell me that's a mistake? It can't possibly be an accident. All right. Oh, man, I think he's onto something, right? Of course. A, B, C, D. This is a natural pattern. Now, you can't use this one. Why? It's over, right? A, B, C, D, it's done. So you can't make money off of that. But what have you done? Number one, you got another example of where it works. And number two, you've just confirmed that the market's moving up. So now what do? We will show you how to do this, but you have to take into account the very last thing that's probably the most important, is this thing will repeat itself. That's how the market works over and over. Okay, you roll your energy forward. Old letter C becomes new letter A. That's the low price. Okay, old letter D becomes the new letter B. That's the high price. Okay, now watch. The market pulls back down, right, to a low price. No surprise that it hits the trend line and bounces off of it. Old resistance just became new support. That's a very powerful move. And what happened? Okay, let's draw our line from A to B. Okay, from A to B. What happened? Well, what'd you think happened? The market pulled back down to a low price. Okay. Then what? Bounced to the red line. ABCD. If you can see that, I don't expect you to be an expert yet, but let me know if you're following. Okay. Because I went through this for a reason. I wanted you to see the patterns. I wanted you to see the repetitions. Okay. But I got to know if you're following. If you are, can you just type the letter or the word me in the chat box, M-E? Okay. I want to know this is a good use of your time, that you're getting some out of it. I know a couple of you have already said this is basic, and that's okay. Right. For some of you, this is a game changer. Those are the ones who I want to be talking to, right? This is a game changer. For some of you, you've been dying to find something like this that keeps on working, right? I've shown it to you now. 1, 2, 3. This is 5 times in a row. All right. What do I got to show you now? Good. Me. You're getting it. I got to show you how to make money with it. Okay. What's going to happen here? Same thing. Repeat. We're still moving up. What do? We do the same things I've showed you. All right, we've identified the ABCDs. Now what? Well, there's a low price. We got to start another pattern. All right, where's the high price? Way up here. Really? All right, there it is. Okay, there's the high price, A and B. Draw your lines on this one. Draw your lines on this one. Watch this. Okay, this is no joke. Okay, I've got a pretty big A and a pretty big B. Okay, now what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for letter C. All right, how many dollars do you have at risk right now? None. Why not? Well, number one, you haven't done any trades, but number two, right, you don't jump into anything until you identify C. So the fact of the matter is you're not risking any money yet, okay? And we don't jump in until we know where and why we're gonna. Well, where and why do we get into a trade? We get into a trade when we've got confirmed energy to the upside. And guess what that's in the shape of? A U-turn. That is a U-turn. That's pronounced, okay? What do? Well, you see which trampoline you're bouncing off of. In this case, the 382, nice and linear. Where are we going? It's not even on the screen. This is a good one. Okay, we're going to the red line. Are you sure? Well, listen. Okay, nothing's perfect. I already told you that. Okay, so let's do risk and reward. That's our reward. How many pips is that? I can measure that. Another tool over here. See that measuring tool? Watch this. From where we are to where we're going. All right, to the red line, that's 243 pips. That's a monster. Okay, 243 pips on the 2-hour chart, not the day, the week, the month. This is the 2-hour chart. Okay, that's the opportunity. You do this as a one-lot trade. Okay, you risk 2K to make $2,430. Now, here's what I know. Okay, I know you like this number right here. I like it too. Okay, this is what we do. But what are you thinking about? Well, what's the downside, right? Joe, if I do this trade, right, and I make $2,000, I'm happy. Everybody's happy with that. Okay. What if it doesn't work, right? In other words, if I buy this right here and it goes the other way, I mean, this thing can fall off of a cliff, right? And you're right, it can. You're worried about this part. Don't blame you. So what do? Most of you already know, but I'm going to share this with my new people. You're going to trade with what's called a stop loss. You're going to build a floor under your trade so that what? So that your downside is protected. All right. The cool part about this market is because it's so liquid and because it's open round the clock, right? It's going to trade through your price. If it should hit your stop loss, you are going to be out automatically. That's a major advantage. All right. A major advantage to this market is your stop losses, right? Get honored. Can you imagine? Yeah, that's a big advantage. All right. Now, what's it look like? Here, let me show you. All right. What does the stop loss look like? It looks like a floor. Okay, you build the floor underneath your trade so that what? Well, if the trade goes against you, instead of wiping out your account, right, the farthest it can fall is down here to your floor, at which point your trade will stop. That's why they call it a stop loss. Stop my loss. Simple. Okay, that's pretty familiar to all of you. All right, but here's what I want to do. I don't want to play around. All right, I don't want you out there guessing about anything. I want you to place your stop in a way that takes advantage of all this stuff that's working for you. Okay, I want you to place your stop in a very specific place, not random. Okay, you're going to place your stop, okay, in a place that makes sense. And if you're conservative, you place your stop at letter C. Write that down. Come on, write that down. Letter C, C for conservative. Okay, a conservative trader wants to do what? They want to risk as little as possible, okay, to make as much as possible. That's what conservative traders do. Joe, that's right. Right, you're a conservative trader, so am I. Okay, so you're going to place your stop at letter C. You're going to take advantage of this energy thing, right, and put your stop in a place that makes sense. C for conservative. Now, if you're aggressive, that's okay, right? If you're an aggressive trader, listen, there's a time to be aggressive, so that's fine, all right? Aggressive doesn't mean reckless. Oh, he's too aggressive. Yep, he drives a Porsche, right? At some point, you've got to be able to be aggressive, because trading in size is the only way to get from making nickels and dimes to making 5 and 6 figures at a time. Okay, so you've got to get to the point where you trade in size. It's going to come from confidence and knowing how this works. Now, aggressive traders, a lot of them, are willing to take a little more risk, right? This is more risk, okay, right here. They're going to place their stop using the same technique at letter A for aggressive. They still trade with a stop. They never get reckless. You never risk your whole account, ever. If you do, it's your own damn fault. All right, I get so tired of hearing people whine. Yeah, I tried that, but I lost all my money. Why? You didn't have a stop. You moved into losses. You added to a losing trade. I mean, you learn that the first day, right? You don't add to a losing trade. When's the last time you added to a winning trade, right? You bought Apple at 110. It goes to 140. Did you add any? No. Why not? You were up in a position. You're playing with house money at that point, right? You lever that so you can ride it to 157. Okay, that is the difference between people that know how to do this and people that think they know how to do this. They think they know how. Okay, they want to tell me something. Look, I know how you make money. It's not by adding to losing positions, and it's not by trading without a stop. And if you want to be aggressive, go ahead, because here's what you need to know, right? In this market, I want you to understand, if the market pulls back, as it will, because it's a natural pattern. If the market pulls back, okay, but it does not break below the letter A, okay, guess what? That means it has no choice but to go your way. Say that again. I will. If the market pulls back down, and it will, that is part of the natural pattern. But if it pulls down, gang, and it doesn't break this A, that means what? That means it has to U-turn off of one of these very natural trampolines. Red one, blue one, green one, guess what? If it bounces off of one of those, that means it has to complete the pattern. It has no choice, because that is how things work. Now, I don't have to explain all that. Fibonacci already did it. But if something has no choice but to go up, then I'm thinking I'm doing pretty good. And either way you do this, all right, you're protected. So now what? Now you go forward in time, right? And what happens? Market continues to bounce until what? Until it reaches that nice fancy high price. No surprise. Let's take a look. Red, red, red. There it is. And once it gets to letter D and you make your 243 pips, okay, and it takes you a grand total of how long? Look at this. That took us 32 times 2, 64. It took us 2.5 days to make more money in 2.5 days than most people make in 2 weeks, okay? Once we get there, we buy low, we sell high. That's the end of it. How do you buy low and sell high? You link your account right up to this. You got a big fat buy button. Tell it 10 cents, $1, $10 a pip. That's up to you, okay? If you want to sell, it's the same thing. You link your account right to this. You can trade right from the charts. It's very cool, all right? But the fact of the matter is, look, A, B, C, D, and now look what happens. Market changes direction. That's it. Market changes direction. Oh, what happened there? What do you mean what happened here? We had a direction change, okay? We got a fresh sequence. Market goes where? To the red line. So what? Now it's coming down to this red line? Well, that's how it works. And I can show this to you over and over because it works over and over. If you're getting it, good, right? You now have the formula and it works in this market. You can try and shoehorn it into some other market that you've been struggling at, right? There's nothing worse than struggling at a market and you're going to just show the market who's boss. Well, I'm going to try that in my stock account. If you're not making money, gang, stop doing that, okay? If you're not making money in futures, if you didn't make money this morning, you're doing something dreadfully wrong, okay? You've got to find the market where you can make the money. When Christmas comes, you can't miss it, okay? Now you got to wait another month for that one. You understand this, okay? But in this market, I don't have to wait for anything but the next sequence. Look, ABC, ABC. How many times would I have to show you that this worked over and over and over? And it's working now. Look, while I've been talking, look, I wish we had been on an hour ago, right? Renee says, oh, can you go on second? As soon as this sequence ended, right? We hit ABCD as soon as it happened. The market started moving to the downside. This is a major move. The euro and the Australian, listen, we're going to set this up as an AB. Okay, we're not quite ready to trade it yet, but I want you to watch this thing tumble. All right, because why? Because the euro Australian is tumbling as we speak. All right, you got the strongest currency in the world right now is the Australian. The euro played out. Okay, we're going to see this thing make an AB boundary. It's going to go like this, and then what? We're going to make a busload of money from C to D. Write that down. I just gave you your first trade. All right, now I've been with you for 50 minutes, and it's been awesome. But now what? Now you got to make a decision. You want to try it? If you do, you're ready. What do you mean? Well, you know support and resistance. Yep, I knew that before I got here. Okay, you know trend lines and candlesticks, but now you know the ABCDs and you know the Fibonacci's. And now you got a tool that uses it in the Forex market. Guess what? You pull up any of these. I don't care which one it is. All right, the guy on the webinar is a cherry picker. Nonsense. I don't pick cherries. All right, I pick profits. That's what I do. Okay, and look at, I can show you, give me a currency here. The euro and the US dollar on the 2-hour chart. I mean, look at this thing of beauty. Look at that thing of beauty. That is a breakdown. You want to go trade it? Make it happen. All right, we made a ton of money on the euro on the way up. Look how many fibs fit into that. All right, I just used an auto tool, right? That's right back here. What did he just do? Let me show you. Let me show you. All right, I've got an auto tool right here, the smart Fibonacci. So you don't have to guess where the ABCDs are. You click on that, just go find a low price. It'll show them to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in a row. This thing was making money on the upside. You didn't have to get one of them, right? You build your confidence. Wow, that thing worked. Wow, it worked again. Wow, it worked again, right? And at some point you say, that is what I'm going to do. The best traders, gang, are not trying to get smart. They're trying to get rich. Okay, if it means something simple, 5 people have already typed in, it can't be this simple. Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm not the smartest guy in the game, right? There's guys that go to Princeton and Brown, right? They go to Yale, they get the good jobs at Goldman. They wouldn't look at me. I went to public school. You understand that? So good for them. They got the good jobs at Goldman, all right? But I'm a trusted person when it comes to this stuff. I kick butt at this stuff. You know why? Because I keep it simple. All right, it better be simple. I'm a simple guy. Okay, it better be simple. Let's do things that are simple and that work. And if you can handle this, all right, if you can handle this, in 60 days, I can turn you into a powerhouse. That's what you want. And I don't even need the credit, right? If you make a ton of money, you can tell your spouse that you made it all yourself. All right, just as long as I get a, Christmas card, I'm cool. All right, I can teach you how to do that though. And as a matter of fact, you don't even need me because it's something that's built into this program. All right, you want to see target trading? This will make it so that, I mean, a 15-year-old can do this. I know, because mine does. Okay, target trading simplifies this whole process. You got limits on time, or you just want to find something that works. How about this? I'll put you on a schedule. I want you to open your charts at 5 o'clock. Okay, and I want you to look for a target. Okay, the target will be a calculation of all the Fibonacci numbers and all the price action. Okay, what's going to happen is that target's going to appear on your screen. You're going to trade to the target. I can show you how to do this in 5 minutes. Okay, because now you understand what it's based on. So at this point, you just need to find something that works. Okay, well, this has an 89% hit rate. This will blow your mind. This is what's taken our whole company to the next level. Watch this. Okay, built into the program. Hold on, I'm almost done. And if you want to get the program, gang, you don't have to wait for me. Just put your phone number in the chat box, because then we'll have a conversation when we're done. We'll meet each other a little bit. Okay, we'll get you what you need to get it on your desk. Then you try it out for 60 days. All right, I want you to see that it works. All right, so here. Let me show you what the target looks like. All right, I'm going to give this a target trading look. It's built into the program. I'll show you how to set this whole thing up. I don't have a whole lot of time left though, so I really got to go with this. Okay, check it out. The fact of the matter is, all right, you're still going to be looking at candlesticks. All right, you're looking at candlesticks, but now it's a little bit of a different look. Now they're red and green. No big deal. Okay, it's still a candlestick chart. What's going to happen for you is this. All right, you're going to see that at 5 o'clock, all right, you're going to open up your chart. So this is the 5 o'clock hour, okay, right here, 5 o'clock, okay? What's going to happen? I want you to notice this thing right here. This thing here is a target. It appears automatically right on your screen, right? At 4 o'clock, there's no target. But at 5 o'clock, all the calculations are done, and boom, there is the target that you are going to trade to. Why? Because it's all based on this Fibonacci thing, A, B, C, D. Okay, and this is the highest probability, right, for you to make money with the least amount of risk that exists in this currency right now. So if you trade to the target, what does that mean? Well, if the target is below the market, you've got to trade down to it. All right, that's pretty easy, I know. All right, you're going to trade down to it. Now, what's that going to be worth? Is this even going to be worth your time? Let's find out. That trade is going to be worth, if this works, 82 pips. So what we're talking about right now, okay, it's total simplification, is this is an 82 pip move. So on a one lot trade, that represents $820. All right, and I've got an almost 9 in 10 chance of that working. 89% hit rate. I got to think you probably want to do that one. You got almost a 90% chance to make 800 bucks. Do it. Well, let's see if it works. Okay, I'm going to go forward in time so you can see it. Okay, what happens? Whoa, Joe, we're losing right away. We're in drawdown. Hey, listen, I'll show you an even better way to do this in a minute, but I want you to see that it works. Okay, look what happens. Almost like a magnet, because it's following the natural and predictable pattern. What happens as we go forward in time is what? The market ends up pulling back down, continuing to head towards that line until what? Until we hit the target. There it is. Okay, now listen, that is an 82 pip move. All right, how long did that take? Well, if you got in right here, that took you a grand total of 30 hours. So that happened in a day. So one day, 820 bucks, not too shabby. All right, I've seen it once. Show me that it works again. All right, you didn't do that one. Of course you didn't. You want proof first. You want to see it, a little efficacy, okay? What happens? Well, a little time goes by. You're not in a trade. You're waiting for what? You are waiting for 5 o'clock. Well, what do you mean? All right, listen. This is 5 o'clock on Sunday, okay? Your targets come out on this one, right? Once a week, Sunday at 5, target appears. So you don't have to guess when to be there. You don't have to guess when things are happening. 5 o'clock is when the target shows up. Okay, Sunday at 5. Okay, show me the target. Here we go. It's 4 o'clock. Now it's 5 o'clock. There, got me a target. There it is. Okay, I've got me a target right here. Now, what's that going to be worth if I just go ahead and jump in and do this trade? I'm a total green novice. I'm just going to jump in like any novice would, right? What's that going to be worth if it works? Well, that one's worth another 82 pips, right? But here's what I want you to do. Instead of just jumping right in, I want you to wait for a candle to point the way. What do you mean? Well, look, there's times when the market expands a little bit in either direction, up or down. Anytime a market expands, that's French for drawdown. We don't like drawdowns. So once that appears, all right, if I'm going to trade to the downside, on my chart, I just want to wait for a red candle. That's going to point me in the right direction. All right, it's going to save me a little pain. You can decide how you want to do this. If you want to just go like any novice would, just jump right into it, I'm telling you, the efficacy of the program is there. But I get extra confidence when I trade from the candle that's pointing the right direction. What happens? As I go forward, there it is. Okay, another 820 pips, or 82 pips, another $820. Okay, now how long did that take? That took me 14 times 1, 14 hours. So it's not even Monday morning yet. And I'm now up another 800 bucks. And this is one currency. Okay, I'm going to tell you what the hit rate is. You ready for this? Okay, 72% of the time, this hits within one period. Hits target within one period. Okay, 89% of the time, if it doesn't hit right away, if you're willing to wait just a little bit longer, okay, 89% of the time, right, targets hit within 7 periods. Now, almost a 90% chance of making money if all you'll do is get into the trade. Well, you showed me 2. Show me that it worked again. Of course. Okay, what happens? Market continues to do its thing throughout the week. Okay, here we go. Now what? Now we got a target down here. Okay, but it's above the market. So now we got to trade up to that one. When do we enter the trade? Right away? No, we're going to wait for a green candle. Why? Market's expanding a little bit. Market's expanding. Okay, this will help you in terms of signal because it will give you that red and green indicator. So it's another indicator on top. What do you got here? Boom, nice looking candle. Let's do that trade. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Give me that. How much is that going to be worth? Nice and confident I am. Another 73 pips. See if it works. If it works, I think at this point you want it to work. We're all looking for something that works. Target trading is what is revolutionizing our students' results because, gang, over and over and over and over and over again, this thing works. Okay, now here's the key. All right, a lot of you are thinking, well, it worked, right? I made $800, but it's Monday. I still got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday left. I want to make money every day of the week. Well, then here's what you're going to do. Instead of limiting yourself to the weekly targets, which are phenomenal, and they're there in every currency. All right, take a look at this one. Again, another one of these where I wish I was on a little bit earlier, because look at this. Good looking targets. Okay, what I want you to do is this. I want you to go to the daily targets, because guess what? Okay, you can make money at this every day. Now, you got to be aware. You've got to be aware, okay, that when you're trading daily targets, okay, when you trade daily targets, the targets are smaller. Why? Well, that's just natural that they would be, okay? Targets are smaller. Here, let me go ahead and show you this just very quickly, because on a daily basis, all right, on a daily basis, we end up with smaller opportunities. Okay, Joe's making sense. I know. All right, but let me show you this one. Okay, let me show you this one right here. Okay, I'm going to highlight this for you very quickly. Where's my magnifier? Right here, right here. Shrink. Give me a second. Shrink that. No, I want to magnify that. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to magnify that, and I'm going to show you the key to this whole thing. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Magnify. Hold on. Joe, you're moving too fast. No, I'm not. Just stick with me, because this is awesome. All right, here. I'm just going to start with this one. Okay. What do we got here? I got a market opening, and I'm looking for what? I'm looking for a trade down to the target. Now, it's not going to be a big target. All right. It's going to be 44 pips. That's not a big trade. But if you can accomplish that in a matter of, let's see, 6 hours, that's just going to add to your results. All right. So that's how you're going to do this the same way. This is 5 o'clock. This is 5 o'clock. Okay. This is 5 o'clock on a daily basis. All right. And this is not ancient that I'm showing you. This is what we did to trade with this week. Now, the one thing I think most people are going to ask me about is, well, what about this one right here? What about it? Okay. On this one. Okay. The target didn't get hit. It got missed. In other words, look, we had some opportunity, right? We had that candle, and all of a sudden we missed the target and we headed into drawdown. That is what nobody likes. Okay. We headed into drawdown, and this target was a missed target. All right. So again, no system is perfect. It hits on the first day 7 times out of 10. Remember, I told you that. Okay. But take a look at what happens the next day. Not only does a fresh target appear, okay, and give you an opportunity to make some money that day, but look what also happens. This target kind of acts like unfinished business in the market. That target is still out there. Look what happens. The market goes right to that target, so that missed target suddenly becomes a hit target. Because why? Because, right, 9 times out of 10, every target gets hit, right? No matter what. As I can go back through this in time. There's a hit. There's a hit. Whoa, there's a miss. Nope, wasn't a miss. Why not? Because look, because it came right to it. It finished that business. And then what? Then it went down to the next target. If you see the efficacy of this thing, gang, this thing could change your life because it simplifies the whole process. And now I haven't just shown you one thing that worked, I showed you 2. And it's going to be a matter of you giving it a shot. I know what we ask you on Investor Inspiration. We ask you to try things. You want to see if this works, let's get it on your desk. The auto tool will be included. The target trading will be included. You get a username and a password. And yes, it costs money, normally $249 a month. Okay. But if you want to try this out, if you want to see if those targets work daily basis, any of the currencies, put it to the test. All right. I'll let you do it. Not for $249 a month, but if you get on our team today, I'll give you the software for a couple of months so you can try it and test it and make sure that it works. Okay. Before you have to make any kind of final decision on it, I want you to see it, because at the end of the day, the only person you're going to trust is yourself anyway. All right. I can keep coming at you with more information. I can keep showing you ABCDs. Okay. But seeing them yourself is going to be the difference. And maybe, just maybe, all that research and this and that you do, right? Maybe instead of piling on research, you get to clear your mind and do something simple, but that also works. Because efficacy, gang, is worth more than any vocabulary. Okay? You want to try it? Put your phone number in the chat box. Put your phone number in the chat box. Let's do this in order, because there's a couple of hundred of you here. All right? And the most democratic way that we have found, right, to get people on board that say, you know what, I want to give it a shot, is to just kind of call you in order. right? So the first person that puts their phone number in that chat box, as soon as we're done, we're going to break in a minute. I'll reach out. Okay, either me or one of my traders will reach out. Let's see if we're a good fit. Let's see if you got questions still. That's fine. Let's get them answered, right? And if you say, you know what, I want to give this a shot, well then great. We'll get it on your desk. You can try it out. All right. The performance is there. Okay, you want to see the performance? It is revolutionary. Okay, 72% of the time trading targets are hit within 1 period. Okay, 89% within 7 periods. And this is a pretty forgiving market too. Okay, properly sized, this is a very forgiving market because 94% of your targets are hit within 30 trading periods, right? We take advantage of how this Fibonacci works. This week alone, right? What is today? Friday? 1,600 pips is not terrible. Okay, that's a good week. And we haven't added this morning's in yet. This was a monster morning. Okay, 3,000 pips this month. What is today? The 3rd already? We're killing this. Okay, and the fact of the matter is year to date, the numbers are there. Okay, you want to find something that works. All right, let me show you a couple other people that are doing it. Most of these people were novices when they got target trading. Okay, but now they're sending us their account statements. I love admin. Are you kidding me? This is phenomenal. All right. The target trading though, it simplifies it. And I think if you're a person that's trading your other stuff and you like it and you want to do it, keep doing it. All right. To add something to it, you want it to be simple because you don't want it to confuse the issue. Well, then you get target trading and you just trade to the target. All right. See if it works. Do it in a practice account as long as you have to. But I'll tell you what, Monday, if you want to come trade it with us, we'll trade it with you. All right. In fact, if you get started with our group, we got 12 seats available for you investor inspiration people. Okay, if you want to trade with our group, get it on your desk today. You mess with it over the weekend, right? You show it to your spouse or your neighbor, whatever you want to do. Okay, but then Monday, we'll do some trading. Well, I thought those targets came out on Sunday. You know what? You're right, they do. Okay, so on Sunday at 5, you want to be ready for those targets because the last thing you want to do is miss them. Then you got to wait another week for the weekly targets. You understand? If you're there Monday, after having seen it, then we can answer some of those questions in real time. Now it's a dynamic environment. Now you're seeing it. And we're confident. We're so confident this works. We're literally going to give you the entire program, all right, risk-free for the next 60 days. This way, look, you don't have to sit here and take my word for it. All right, you get it on your own computer, you see it with your own eyes, and then you decide if it's the right program for you. All we're going to ask you is to give it a good effort, okay? So with that, you know, the program itself, the value here is through the roof. Just the target trading system alone is awesome. Okay, but we'll educate you because that's part of it. We'll get to know each other. You get to learn a couple of strategies. I barely scratched the surface, right, of the daily and the weekly. Where do you see the monthly? All right, but we'll teach you how to do it. The tutorial that's built in reviews everything I said today. All right, so you can do this at your own pace. Show it to your kids. I'm telling you, there's nothing better as a parent than getting your kids in a point where they can make their own money. Okay, this is what you'll want for them. You get the software for 2 months. We'll trade with you beginning and the end of every week. All right, and if you want to trade during the week, we'll have a formula person, all right, who can help you with the analysis. All right, we'll have a formula person, right, who can walk through trades with you, give you a double check. All right, ongoing, we'll get you into our group, our team. Let's go out there and make some money. That's the name of the game. Now, what's the value of all this? Well, I mean, add it up, right? Value is huge. The way we look at it, it's worth about 10 grand, right? A lot of you are looking at that going, you know, it's a big number, but if it works about half as good as he said, right, it'll pay for itself. And you're right, all right? That's absolutely right. So I mean, you're looking at ROI without a doubt, okay? And if I put that number on there, I mean, retail, that's an appropriate value. But here's the thing, all right? You're going to get all that value, but you're not going to pay $10,000 for it. What do I mean? Well, there's a couple of ways you can get this. Okay, there's a regular way, and then there's the investor inspiration way. Let me just tell you what that's about, and you just decide which one works the best for you. All right, you could go to my website if you want to, markettraders.com, get all this as a bundle. All right, you can get it today. Go to the website, you can get the program, right? It's not 10 grand, right? It's less than half of that online. You get it today, you can have it for the rest of your life. $39.95 from my website. Great. I just put a big line through it though. Why? Because I told you we're going to do this the investor inspiration way. All right, I've got seats for 12 people. And the fact of the matter is they're going to come from this group. You've already got a head start, gang. So now I'm going to get you nudged over. All right. Instead of it being 10 grand or $39.95, what we decided to do for you guys today here at Investor Inspiration is take 50% off of our online price, meaning you can get this program for a one-time investment, all right, of $19.97. We're going to take half off the online retail, right? You save about 2 grand right away. You know how you get it? Simple. Put your phone number in the chat box, all right? By putting your phone number in the chat box, here's what'll happen. What I'm going to do, as soon as we break, we're almost done. All right, I'm gonna, either me or one of my traders, one of my education specialists, we're gonna reach out to you. All right, we're gonna follow up with you. We're gonna spend as much time with you as necessary. All right, we're gonna answer any questions that you have, and at that point, you're off to the races. All right, the only problem I think you're gonna have is that you didn't get this thing 3 months ago, right? And start making money back then. But here's the thing: by putting in your phone number, all right, some of you are doing it. Tom, I've got your number, right? Kevin, I've got your number. Listen, by putting in your phone number, you're not locking yourself in. Okay, what you're doing is you're giving yourself what's called the right of first refusal. By putting in your phone number, it means you want to have a discussion with us. You want to get the details and see if this is for you. All right, show me the details, show me the information. But Joe, it's limited, so I want to reserve one of those spots. That is what you're doing today. Okay, you're going to reserve one of those spaces, then we're going to talk. All right, we go through this and you say, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. Well, then that spot is yours. Okay, if you decide after we talk, you know what, Joe, it's great. Okay, it's not for me. Well, that's nothing lost at that point. Okay, all we're going to do is free up the next spot, and we'll free up that spot for the next person. And we're going to just kind of take these in order. All right, I've got 12 of those spots available. All right, after this, I mean, we got to limit it. After this session is over, those spots are going to be gone. All right, so once they're filled, that's the end of it. All right, so I've got 12 of those spaces, and if you've got any interest in this, if you're thinking, well, I want to do it, I don't know if I can fit it on my Visa card, though. Well, look, I've got a monthly payment plan where we can be flexible with you. If you can put a couple of $100 down on this, okay, I can reserve the spot. I can get you the whole program on your desk today. All right, and then we'll just spread the rest of it out over time so it fits your budget. I mean, whatever you need to do, right? But if you got any interest in this at all, just put your phone number in the chat box and let's get in line for that conversation. All right. If you want it, you're not sure how to do it financially, I just think you put your phone number in and we can work that out. You still got the right of first refusal. All right. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Okay. But if it is, all right, this is the key. Now you got 60 days to put it to the test. So good. Robert, Tom, Richard, Eric, Sebastian, I've got your number. Anna, I've got your number. Enrique, all right, I've got your number. Ahmed, all right, Juan Felice, all right, big response. I can barely read them all. All right, but that's okay. Listen, for tonight, listen, big night. Okay, you want to have everything that you need. You want to have all your ducks in a row because you're going to mess with this weekend. All right, so that you have everything you need. For everybody that enrolls today, listen, I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses. All right, on the charting. Normally it's $249 a month, right? And I said 2 months of the charts. Anybody that gets started today, listen, I'm going to give you 12 months of the charts. I'm going to give you charts, right, from now until this time next year. Why am I doing that? Because I don't want you worried about $249 a month. Okay, I want you learning that formula. I want you to get to the point where you're kicking butt with the formula, making some money, you become an ambassador for our company. Okay, if that means giving you charts for 12 months, then far out, you get them. Okay, and I'll work with you for 12 months. All right, you're not going to be out there trading alone, right? I'll work with you for those 12 months so that, right, you come in and trade on Mondays and Fridays, you get yourself up, you get the targets. All right, good. William, I got that too. Look, we're going to hold your hand on this for a year. Okay, nobody else is going to offer you that. This is the best offer I've ever seen us do. And I'll tell you what, if you want to get results right out of the gate, right, you don't want to even take time to learn. Well, that's what a lot of us do, right? You say, yeah, let me just copy what you're doing. If it's so great, let me copy you. Well, I'll tell you what, for Investor Inspiration people, okay, the first 12 of you that get started, I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to listen as a third bonus. Okay, it's only available to you people, right? You can do this without guesswork, without errors. You're going to choose. You want to do daily targets, weekly targets, monthly targets. If you want, you can do all three. I think your sponge might be a little full at that point, but that's up to you. The exact trades that we do in real time will be delivered to your device for the next 2 months. So you don't have to guess on this at all based on target trading, and the results speak for themselves. Okay, so if you want to, look, for everybody that's putting in their number or is about to, all right, some of you have already told me that you want to do a payment plan. That's fine. All right, some of you I'm sure are going to be okay with a one-time payment. If you think you're leaning towards just doing this as a one-time payment. You take care of it, you get it out of the way. You get 12 months of charts, you get 12 months of coaching, right? Here's what I need you to do. Type the letter A in the chat box. Okay, just type in the letter A very quickly. I'm not saying you're locked in right now this second. All you're telling me is that if this makes sense to you when we talk, you've got the capability, right, of doing this as a one-time payment. All right. Now, if you're thinking, well, I'm going to do this, but I might need a little flexibility, well, then you're an option B. Okay. And I want you to put the letter B in the chat box, because what you're saying is, look, I want to get started, but I don't have the whole 1997, but I can put a couple of $100 together. If that's the case, okay, I can get you started. I can get all the material on your desk today, right? You don't have to make that heavy commitment today. We'll just spread the rest of it out over time. All right. But either way you do this, gang, you got 100% risk-free guarantee. How does that work? It's pretty simple. Okay. You get to take the program and download it today. You get signed up for the class sessions. Okay. And you get the program with target trading on your desk. And we don't want you just using it for 10 days or 15 or 30. I want you to have a full opportunity to see that it works. Okay. So we're going to let you use it for 60 days. At the end of that time, that's when you're going to make a final decision on this. Okay. Going to be real easy. If it works, you keep it. If it's not for you, guess what we do? We refund every penny that you paid just for trying it. We're the only company that does that. All right. Your risk in this case is zero. Okay. Your upside in this is phenomenal. If that's the first question you have, show me that warranty. You've got 60 days. The worst thing that happens when anybody comes to work with our group is they get the full Forex experience, right? They get the full Forex experience. When I come to the class, you even bring a friend to the class. Totally awesome. And if it's not for you, look, it's not for everybody. It's okay. We'll refund whatever you put into this thing just for trying it out. Does it work? I can show you that. All right. Last 3 months, our students are killing it because the program is phenomenal. Okay, you just got to decide which way you want to get started, option A or option B. I'll give you 60 days to put it to the test. And I'm going to wrap this up right now so I can get those of you that are putting your number in started. All right, look at that. All right, good. Renee, I'm just about good to go. I want to share with them one more thing, though. All right, because I know we come to the webinars, right? And sometimes you're saying, well, I don't know if there's a plan here. Well, I told you, you're going to download it this weekend. You're going to look for your Sunday targets. Monday, you're going to come in. We're going to make sure you got it right so you can get off the ball quickly, and you can't miss this. Did you see what happened to the dollar today? I can't let you miss that. It's going to be like Christmas. That's a year maker kind of trade. Okay, it can make up for a lot of mistakes you might have made from January to July. I'm telling you. Okay, some of you are down the hole a little bit. You're like, somebody better help me get out of it. We can help you with that. Right? You want to talk to Tyson how to doctor a couple of trades for yourself and put a Band-Aid on them plus make money at the same time? We'll do that on Monday. Okay, what else are we going to do? The class, write it down, the 14th. That's an all day. All right, an all day. You learn from me in an hour or so. And all day is really when we dive into this. Now it's on the 14th. Okay, so you have a little time to prepare for that. You got to take some time off of work. You got to fit it into your schedule. But we're going to do those all days a couple of times during your 60-day period. All right, if you can't make it on this one, I'll give you a recording. All right, whatever it takes to get you that full Forex experience. And for those of you that are saying, well, Joe, you know, you only got 12 spots. I want to get one. I don't want to wait around for somebody to call me. Then you call us. All right, you call us. I'll make it worth your while. Write down this number. All right, and I'm not even going to limit this to 5 people. Strict limit of 5. No, that's all goofy nonsense. I'm going to save you money. All right, if you call me, I'll save you $200. If you call me, I'll guarantee you a spot in the class. All right. You don't want to wait for us to call you. Oh, I don't want to give you my number. Then you call us. Let me know, though, that you're calling. Type it in the chat box. I'm calling in, because that way I can write it down. Save a spot for Doug, right? $200 savings. So what am I talking about here? All right, this is just for you guys. But if you call in, look what you get. $17.97. Okay, there it is. Okay, target trading. Awesome system. Trade to the target. 5 o'clock every day. Okay. Repeatable classes, that's good for education. We like that, right? Build confidence, build relationships. A year of charts, no kidding, $3,000 value all by itself, okay? A year you'll work with us? Yeah. I mean, this is not designed to be make money this week or this month. This is designed to be your lifetime, right? So a year to you might seem like a long time. For us, it's going to be the first year of many, right? You're going to be trading to make your living. That's how we start. So let's get off the ball with that. All right, and then 2 months to copy stuff so you can get started strong. All of that with 100% guarantee. And I'll tell you what, All right, a lot of you, I appreciate the response. All right, Renee wants me to wrap this up. So here's what I'm going to do. Last. A lot of you didn't respond yet. Couple of reasons for that. I don't know what they are. I already know Fibonacci's. I don't know if it works, right? It's fine. I get it. You've seen stuff before, right? You don't want to commit $2,000 to something because you don't want it to be a waste of your time. All right, I'm not big at wasting time either. And I showed you in an hour and a half some good stuff today. I know I did. Okay, I know how this works. I'm excited to get to know you. Okay, because if I can show you this, that's good for me. I'm going to do it anyway, right? And I can show you. That's just a nice thing. Okay, but if you're thinking, you know, Joe, I don't know if I want to lay the money. I don't know if I have the money. Okay, well, I'm not going to let that be the excuse. Okay, as a matter of fact, here for the first 10 of you, right, that respond to this, if money is kind of tripping you up, right, let's just get that out of the way. Because for 10 of you, right, as long as you promise not to waste our time, I can get this for you for free. Come on. No kidding, right? Look, I know what you're thinking. A minute ago it was $2,000, right? Now it's free. Well, listen, there's a couple of ways to get it for free, okay? But you got to be the kind of person that A, needs it, and B, that'll take it seriously. You're going to come to the classes, right? You're going to learn the program. You're going to go make some money with it. You're going to go tell a couple of friends. That's the person I'm talking about here. Because through my tuition reimbursement program and my referral program, right, you can get the program free. So if money was a problem, now it's not, okay? Now it's really up to you, all right? So I've given you kind of 3 ways to do this. Option A, $19.97, nice price, half off of retail, right? You get a year of charts, $200 off if you call me, so $17.97, that's a good deal, okay? What's option B? Option B is this. If you can come up with $249, okay, I'll get you started. I'll get you the whole program today. That's it. Listen. $249, right, is what you put down for a customized payment plan. That says, all right, I'm committed enough, right, to get myself started. Okay, $249, you can't get a basket weaving class for that. Okay, you can't get a cooking class for that. I know, right? You want to go with Gordon Ramsay to a cooking class, $1,000, and he doesn't have any refunds, right? No guarantees. Well, you put $249 into this. I'll even guarantee that. Worst that happens to you, you go 60 days. It's not free. I'll give you $249 back. Okay. And the last one is free. I mean, I think I've found everybody's financial sweet spot, because one of those has to work for you. Now the other thing is, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see if it works. And that starts when you get it on your desk. So let's do that now. I'm going to break. Renee, I want to say thank you. All right, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here. All right, just the fact that you are here, gang, you're close. Showing up when it comes to this is like half the battle. Now you get tools, you get the right people on your team, right? That's when good stuff starts to happen. So I hope that I presented that to you today.